For years, evolution has been taught in biology classes in order to inform students on how the Earth was created, which would be by the Big Bang and then people evolving from apes. But what if another explanation could be taught? The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines creationism as a doctrine or theory holding that matter, the various forms of life, and the world were created by God out of nothing, and usually in the way described in Genesis, which is the first book of the Bible. I think that students should be presented with both facts about evolution and creationism in school and be given the opportunity to decide what they want to believe. There are many arguments against creationism. One of them is that creationism hasn't been proved. But if you look at evolution, a quote by Henry Morris says, "Evolution has never been proven scientifically. Evolution can't be tested, there are no trials that can be set up for it, and therefore it turns into a belief, which equals out to be like creationism. They're both beliefs, so why can't both be taught?" In the 2005 Kitzmiller versus Dover court case, teaching creationism was ruled unconstitutional. Teachers at the Dover High School were required to read a statement about an alternative to evolution and the Darwin theory. They didn't like that, so they brought that to the court. It goes in with the Tennessee versus John Scopes court case of 1925, where a biology teacher named John Scopes was caught teaching evolution. At this time, it was against the rules to teach anything that went against the Bible. John was arrested. So what happened? Why did creationism get kicked out and evolution brought in? Many people think that bringing creationism into the biology classroom means inviting religion into the schools. But religion is already taught in history class, in some sorts. It's part of America, how it became, and it's part of our ancestors. And many people also say, well, what version will be taught? It would most likely be Christianity out of the Bible. There's also an issue of people saying, well, if you want your child to be taught creationism, why not take them to a private school? That's just like saying if you want your child to be taught evolution, why not take them to a private school? Both issues are important to be discussed. Both of them have the right to be in schools. Just like your child, if they have a reading disability, they get accommodations. So why can't people who believe in God receive accommodations as well? There are different reasons why it should be allowed. One example is in a 2006 Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life, it was found that 60% of people were in favor of teaching both evolution and creationism in schools, while about 35% opposed. It shows that the majority of people would like to see it happen. Creationism is also like a hidden curriculum in schools, such as social life and what children will take with them when they leave school. It helps shape an individual. It's more than just academic work. It provides morals. Religion, as I said before, is a part of history and always will be. So why not embrace it? Some students already have a strong belief system in Christianity, whether it be the way that they were raised in the church or just their own beliefs. So teaching both can engage students in biology class. Many students who believe in creationism but are only taught evolution feel like they don't want to obtain the information about evolution because they're so set in their ways. So if creationism was also taught, they would be given kind of an open forum to share why they believe what they believe, and they'd probably feel more comfortable. In the world, students will be exposed to all different viewpoints. So in the schools, why not give them the best information and facts there are about the different viewpoints? Many teachers who are willing to teach both viewpoints don't have the correct materials to do so. A solution for that would be for the libraries to provide information on both creationism and evolution, and maybe have some local churches provide teaching materials that the teachers can incorporate into their lessons. And that would again go with state standards in what they can and cannot teach. Those would probably have to be modified a little bit. And if it's the case of teaching creationism can be brought to higher powers such as the state education boards, the school district boards, and the superintendents. And you can give them a quote by Henry Morris. He says, "Evolution has at least as much religious character as does creation." And that would kind of be a good platform to have. Many evolution activists argue that evolution is not elaborated on enough. The average time evolution is taught in the classroom is 13.7 hours. And this could be because of state standard differences, because of the teacher's personal beliefs, or because the amount of education a teacher has in science. They may not know how to correctly teach it. While 25% spend 1 to 2 hours on creationism in the classroom. This reminds me of my sophomore year of high school when I took biology class. My teacher, Mrs. Wheaton, taught us evolution, but she said, "This is not what I believe. This is what the school has me teach." And then she shared a little bit on her beliefs, but it wasn't like evangelizing. She was just sharing why she didn't believe in evolution. Another issue is there's no recent data, or again, all the teachers are poorly educated on evolution. So a solution for that would be have conferences to equip teachers with how to teach creationism and evolution. Teachers' instructions vary so much from school to school, from classroom to classroom even, and so by giving them these tools, you would be able to lessen that variation and make it all more of the same. Also give teachers written material to teach off of, and that would also ensure that there would be equal teaching time between creationism and evolution. And to clarify, I don't think that creationism should be forced. I think that it should be reasonably persuaded into the school system. As Henry Morris says, force generates reaction, and most likely this would cause a negative reaction that is not needed. People against creationism need to consider about the people who are against evolution. It's 2018, we all have our own differences and opinions, and we all work together to find a compromise on them. And I'm not saying that just creationism should be taught in schools, and I'm not saying that students should be forced to read the Bible. I'm saying that pros and cons of both creationism and evolution should be shared in the classroom. Charles Darwin says, "Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. It is those who know little and not those who know much who so positively assert that this or that problem will never be solved by science." Well, science has not been able to prove either evolution or creationism because both are beliefs. So wouldn't it be a disservice to keep children ignorant to the option of choosing what they want to believe? Thank you for listening.